Hello and welcome. Let us discuss this question that came in the year 2022 and is related to the topic environmental legislation. The question is, which one of the following has been constituted under the Environment Protection Act 1986? A. Central Water Commission, B. Central Groundwater Board, C. Central Groundwater Authority, and D. National Water Development Agency. Let's see these bodies one by one. If we see Central Water Commission, then Central Water Commission was established in the year 1945 on the advice of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who was member of then member of Viceroy's Executive Council. So on the advice of Dr. Ambedkar, Central Water Commission was established, which is a technical organization under Ministry of Jal Shakti and under Department of Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation. Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation. This body has three wings: Design and Research Wing, River Management Wing and Water Planning and Projects Wing. So in Central Water Commission, basically all the waters, that is surface water as well as groundwater, surface water, that is river water, etc., and groundwater, both comes into the Central Water Commission. They give technical advice to Department of Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation for the management of these water bodies. And this was established in the year 1945. If we see Central Groundwater Board, originally it was known as Exploratory Tube Wells Organization, which was then under Ministry of Agriculture, but in 1970 this was named as Central Groundwater Board, and this also came under Ministry of Jal Shakti. So Central Groundwater Board is under Ministry of Jal Shakti, and same department, that is Department of Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation. As far as this body is concerned, it is associated with groundwater. So sustainable development and management of groundwater resources of the country is done by this Central Groundwater Board. This is also a national apex organization with responsibility to carry out scientific surveys and explorations, also assessment and augmentation of groundwater resources of the country. If we see Central Groundwater Authority, then this is also under Ministry of Jal Shakti, but this was constituted under Section 3, Clause 3 of Environment Protection Act of 1986. Now this Central Groundwater Authority, prior to that, if we see Environment Protection Act 1986, then DPSP Article 48A talks about protection and preservation of environment and of various species associated with it. If we see fundamental duties 51A, Article 51A, then this also talks about protection of environment duties as far as protection of environment is concerned. So to implement this law was created, Environment Protection Act 1986. And as far as groundwater is concerned, to regulate and control and manage and development of groundwater, management and development of groundwater, this body gives expert advice to Ministry of Jal Shakti. And if we see National Water Development Agency, then this was set up as an autonomous body under Societies Registration of 1860, Societies Registration Act of 1860, and this was set up in 1982. This body also carries out a study on scientific and realistic basis for optimum utilization of water resources. Water resources like earlier this was entrusted with study of peninsular rivers, optimum utilization of waters of peninsular rivers, and in the later years also Himalayan rivers study were shifted to this agency. So this agency has society registration, this is registered as a society, and this gives realistic basis advice for optimum utilization of water resources of peninsular rivers and Himalayan rivers to the concerned authorities. So if we see the question that which of the following has been constituted under Environment Protection Act of 1986, then C is the right answer, as this was constituted under EPA 1986. Rest of the bodies were constituted prior to Environment Protection Act 1986. Thank you.